Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta Indialapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Hello, oh my gosh. No, I never vocalize before I do this, and maybe I should because there was all kinds of crap in my throat. Good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, and there's a lot of interesting information that I want to share with you, including the fact that I forgot to set up our special feature for today. So I'm going to set it up right now, and it's going to look very confusing on your screen for like 7 seconds, but I might as well get it done. So just sit there and look at your hands for 7 seconds. Hold on just a second. Let me find the file that I'm looking for. Ba-dum, bam, bam, ba-dum, bam, bim, boom, bam.
Today I want to share a Spanish word.
And oh, okay. So we're good. We're good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines, where something is bound to go wrong, or I'm bound to start the show with giggles, or it's just the way it is. We try to keep it real here at Casa Chaos from Colonia La Avena, Monday through Saturday, trying to create content to help you connect with Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. But you already know that. But some of you might be just coming here for the first time. And for those of you that are watching live for the first time, if you add a capital letter N, as in new, to your comment, we'll be so very happy to give you a nice welcome. And of course, if you have a very important comment that you wish to share with everyone, it helps a great deal, if you add a capital letter Q. Interesting news, something that I'm really excited about, and a special acknowledgement for 14 million Mexicans and some of you. That's what we bring to the table today. Let's get started. First of all, there was a meeting by the Emiliano Zapata Neighborhood Association that was attended by City Councilman Arnulfo Ortega and City Manager Juan Pablo Martinez. And Juan Pablo Martinez, of course, representing the current administration, announced the intention to install parking meters in various areas of the city, which we already knew about. And they presented a specific proposal for parking meters all over Colonia Emiliano Zapata, and with the exception of streets surrounding the Lázaro Cárdenas parking lot. So this is the proposal that was presented. I suppose it brings it closer to reality, although nothing specific has been confirmed. There are people in favor. There are people that are not in favor of parking meters. I don't know how I feel about it because I don't have all the information, although at first glance, it seems like a very legitimate way for Puerto Vallarta to make some much needed public income. So you let me know what you think about this in your comments, and we'll wait and see what happens. Now, if you have some time on your hands, the Puerto Vallarta Environmental Sustainability Department, with the support of the municipal government headed by Luis Munguia, has opened an invitation to join the volunteer program during the 2025 sea turtle nesting and release season at the Oasis del Joli, or at the Joli Beach. So the season, as you know, runs from July to December. This is a crucial period for the reproduction of this emblematic species of the coastal ecosystem. The volunteer program is open to people of all ages and offers flexible schedules that adapt to each participant's availability. And for those without prior experience or theoretical and practical training is offered. So there is a telephone number in the news source that will be available in the show notes. If you have some time in your hand and you want to volunteer looking after sea turtles and their hatchlings, there might be something for you, particularly if you live in that general area. Also, about the beach, some people may not have gotten the memo, but there are lifeguards out there. And if the lifeguards go out there and put a red flag on the beach, it means that the ocean is not suitable for swimming. Um, and despite constant recommendations from the Aquatic Rescue Department, several swimmers continue to enter the sea at beaches with strong waves and dangerous rip currents, putting their lives at risk. So, this is just a gentle reminder. If you see a red flag at the beach, don't swim. Go drink margaritas instead, or do something outside of the water. Now, this next news item I'm truly excited about. It is speculative at this point, but there was a meeting on August 4th between the general director of the Puerto Vallarta Maritime Terminal and executives from the Islas Marías Tourism Company, the company that runs the facilities and the ferries. They met here in Puerto Vallarta, where they took a look at the facilities within the maritime terminal. And this meeting led to the news that Puerto Vallarta is now emerging as the next port of departure for the Islas Marías, a destination that has so far failed to reach the expected influx. Let me unpack this for a second. And we've talked about this before, but I'm really excited. At first, when Islas Marias were announced that they were opening to the public, when it was announced, the government was sketchy with information on how much packages were going to cost to go there. We've known that you can leave from San Blas in Nayarit and Mazatlan in Sinaloa and take these fabulous ferries to get there. But of course, now that we know that the packages have come down in price, for example, you can go with another person and have an all-inclusive 2-night stay for 9,220 pesos at the minimum. So a 3-day vacation will set you back that amount of money divided by 2. But the problem has been that the departure points, San Blas and Mazatlan, have not been strategic. So now the people involved are hoping that leaving from Puerto Vallarta will attract not only more people, but also more English speaking people interested in exploring this natural preserve. As for me, I have been researching the possibility of leaving from San Blas. It's not that expensive, but it adds an extra layer to the trip. But knowing that in a few months we could just take an Uber to the maritime terminal and take a ferry directly from Puerto Vallarta to go and explore the Islas Marias for a weekend sounds absolutely dreamy, and I would do it in a heartbeat. What do you think about that? Do let me know in your comments if this is something that would appeal more to you, being able to depart directly from Puerto Vallarta. And of course, we wrap up our first half with this. The National Meteorological Service has been keeping score of the number of hurricanes that have developed in both the Pacific and in the Atlantic. And so far, according to them, we are within expected parameters. The National Weather Service forecast for this season is between 16 and 20 cyclones in the Pacific and between 13 and 17 in the Atlantic, and activity so far remains within expectations. Although I'm starting to sound like a broken record, I keep missing the rain. I mean, forget about hurricanes. Where's the rain? Last night we had what us Mexican nationals refer to as chipi chipi. Chipi chipi is when it drizzles so little that instead of refreshing, it just makes humid air more prevalent. So last night there was a cheapy cheapy, and I was lying in bed sweating like I was in labor. Well, I've never been in labor, but I was sweating profusely. I had to take an extra shower just before I went to sleep to stay refreshed. But for better or worse, we seem to be within normal parameters for hurricane activity. Let's see what our weather forecast says for today. Boom, 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 boom. Mother Na- Mother Nature is about to make you her bitch, says snarky weatherman. Rain starting at around 12:15 p.m. I'll believe it when I feel it. Our weather forecast right now, well, right now we're enjoying 30 degrees, humidity is at 70%. And our weather forecast for today, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 50%, a high of 32, and a low of 25. I don't see any clouds. In fact, it's sunny as hell out there, so what can I tell you? Tomorrow, Thursday, rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. Chance of rain of 70%, a high of 31, and a low of 25. Then on Friday morning, mostly cloudy skies with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 88%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. That's what we're looking at. As a reminder, I won't be here on Friday or Saturday, but I'm cooking some pre-recorded content for you to enjoy. I will be in Yelapa. Thanks to our wonderful supporter, Michael Buford, I'll be in Yelapa, staying at our dear friend Alexis' houses and taking video of his casitas and taking video of Yelapa. I was trying to put numbers together last night, and I think it's been over 10 years since I visited Yelapa. So I'll be happy to come back with footage and tips and ideas and photographs and all that good stuff. Now, yesterday I talked about how the Malecon is being remodeled. No need to talk about it again, but I did borrow a photo from another news item on the same matter. As you can see, this is the section of the Malecon right in front of Vitea restaurant. Needless to say, I understand why some of the vendors might be miffed because they were not notified. And this is what it's looking like. The good news is that when it's finished, I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. So I just wanted to share that photo in case you were curious. Moving right along, Mexican families, particularly those with children in school, are preparing for a very festive Mexican independence celebration. Why? Well, because this year, September 15 and 16 land on a Monday and a Tuesday, respectively. So we can expect a long, long weekend and maybe an influx of tourists here in Puerto Vallarta. And if you're not familiar with the dates, September 15 is the day in which we commemorate the cry of independence, commemorating the call of priest Miguel Hidalgo in 1810 to begin the fight for Mexico's freedom. And of course, the following day, September 16, is the actual Independence Day, the official date marking the beginning of the independence movement. So, yes, it is a 2 day holiday. And if you're not very familiar with it, or what we do, or what we eat, or what we sing, well, there's this little presentation coming down the line right before Mexican independence where I will unpack our music, our stories, our culture, our legacy, all the wonderful things that Mexico has gifted to the world in Viva Mexico, a little celebration of our own to better understand why it is such an important date in our culture. Now, also touching base on something that we talked about yesterday, which is chiles en nogada. Um, this article breaks down the price of preparing chiles en nogada at home, which can vary because of the ingredients like meat and walnuts and fruit. All the prices will change depending on the season, on inflation, and where these items are purchased. So the article shows a real world calculation of making a batch of 6 chiles en nogada at home. And according to this news source, the price to prepare 6 chiles en nogada at home is around 445 pesos or 74 pesos per chile. So, how do you reconcile that in restaurants, you're going to pay between 300 and 700 pesos per chile en nogada? Well, here is the bottom line. Preparing chiles en nogada, whether at home or by a restaurant, is a truly labor intensive labor of love. Like the walnuts have to be peeled. You have to take away that very thin membrane of the walnuts because otherwise the sauce will go sour. So, in case you're wondering, would you want to prepare them at home? Well, I have friends that have. Remember Claudia and Carmen from formerly from Oculto? They used to teach how to make chiles en nogada. So if you enjoy spending a lot of time in your kitchen, yes, you can make them at home. If not, you can have them at restaurants, but do expect the price to be between 300 and 700 pesos per chile just because they are labor intensive. Now, before we go into our word of the week, which I would have shown yesterday, but we got busy taking a look at chiles en nogada. Today, August 13, is International Left-Handers Day. This day is celebrated annually to acknowledge the unique experiences and challenges faced by left-handed individuals in a world predominantly designed for right-handed people. If you are left-handed in Mexico, you are in good company because it is estimated that over 14 million nationals are left-handed. So if you're a lefty, happy Lefty Day. And now, once again, I prepared a word of the week, and there's so many words, but I keep looking for words that are wholesome and just give you good feeling, and words that don't have an English equivalent. And I found such a word just for you. Where did it go? Where is it? Here we go. Enjoy the word of the week.
Today, I want to share a Spanish word that's as comforting as a warm embrace on a rainy day. The word is apapachar. Now, if you speak English, you might be tempted to translate it as to cuddle, to pamper, or to spoil someone with affection. But apapachar is so much more than that. It comes from Nahuatl, the language spoken by the ancient Mexicas. The original word, papachoa, meant something quite beautiful, to soften something with a soul. And if that phrase alone doesn't give you a warm, fuzzy feeling, wait until you feel what apapachar really means. Imagine a grandmother pulling you close, not just to warm your body, but to protect your spirit. Imagine a friend showing up at your door with a pot of soup when you're having the worst day. Or someone sitting in silence with you, their presence saying, "You don't have to carry this alone." That's apapachar. It's love without conditions, comfort without words, presence without agenda. In Mexico, we apapachamos people in ways that are deeply personal, through food, through physical closeness, through late-night talks over café con pan, through simple, quiet acts that say, "Estoy aquí, estoy contigo." The beauty of apapachar is that it works both ways. You can give an apapacho and you can receive one. You can apapachar someone with a homemade meal, a kind message, or even just by listening, truly listening. And in a world that often feels rushed, disconnected, and transactional, maybe apapachar is exactly the kind of energy we need to bring back. So today I invite you to use this word, not just in conversation, but in action. Who can you apapachar today? And perhaps more importantly, how can you allow yourself to be apapachado? If you
And that was our word for today. It's one of my favorite Spanish words, apapachar or ser apapachado. It is it is important. It is beautiful. So let yourself be apapachado today. Let's take a quick look at your comments just to see what you guys are up to. Good mornings. Thank you so much for those. Good mornings. Good mornings. Jim, welcome back to Versalles. It's great to see you. Purum pum pum. Laura says, I think parking meters are okay if it's not too expensive. The article did actually mention how much per hour or per minute, but because it's not tangible yet, I didn't want to go there. But yes, this is something, Laura, that we'll keep an eye on. I don't drive a car, but I know many people do. Let's see. Linda says, what's up in PV? Have a great day. Well, there you have it. PV is awesome. It is hot and sweaty, but it is beautiful. It is summer like we love it. What can I tell you? Right? See, Doug and I are thinking about the same thing. A departure from Puerto Vallarta would be great and probably quite busy to go to the Islas Marías. I hope you are correct, Doug. I hope my hunch is correct. And if and when this happens, hell, we should all go. That's it. Let's see. Parking meters are great as long as they don't only require coins. An app is best. Well, Lynn, the good news is that the technology in parking meters, at least in Guadalajara, as I understand it, it's all app driven now. It's not like a coin system. In fact, it has to do with your GPS location of all things. But again, we'll keep an eye on this situation and see what happens when it happens. Oh, that is wonderful. Emiliano Zapata had heavy rain around 10 p.m. I was walking home at that time, but it was not heavy. It was just like a 10-minute cheapy cheapy. Let's see. Hello, Tim Beford, brother of Michael. It's good to see you, Tim, and I'm looking forward to meeting you when you come and visit Puerto Vallarta in 2 months, right? That'll be fun. Susan is a lefty. Happy Lefty Day. So happy to see you, Deb. I thought the warning for YouTube was there. Sometimes YouTube fails to convey what we're doing, but at least you know where to find us, and that is wonderful. Happy Lefty Day, Muffin. Happy Lefty Day. And let's see what else. Oh, way to go. Cut to the chase. Chris is grinding weed and rolling joints. I love it. If it was the weekend, I would be doing the same thing. Oh, that is such a sweet comment. Thomas says, gracias por tus apapachos. Well, if you feel apapachado here at Coffee and Headlines, if you feel that I pamper you, that I soften you with my words, well, you know what to do. I appreciate your appreciation. Let's see what else we know. Oh, that is great Spanglish. Thank you so much, Logan. Or as we know it in English, apapachation. Yes, we are an apapachation nation. Michael is not happy about parking meters. I know many people are. I know many people are not. I'm very curious to see how this is going to develop one way or the other. And I think this brings us to the end of our broadcast. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share another Spanish word that is just so truly awesome. I'm enjoying researching these, and I'm sure that we're going to find plenty more in weeks to come. So keep an eye on those, and have a great Wednesday. There will be no taping of interviews at the Joint Boutique Hotel today, as there were no takers, but I saw that somebody signed up for next week. I'm looking forward to that. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning as usual. Take care.